Welcome to 31 days of your scrapbooking Q&As. Today's sponsor is Gossamer Blue, a no-risk monthly scrapbooking kit club with 2 different types of subscriptions at a discounted price. Whether you're a traditional scrapbooker or a pocket page scrapbooker, check out gossamerblue.com. Today's question comes from Lara, who asks, when you sit down to create a page, do you use templates? I really like using templates because I feel I'm not creative or design savvy enough to create a page my own. I often like my template-based pages better. However, I feel like they take more time to mimic than if I would create a layout on my own. How do you get your own style and have pages turn out that you actually like? Thanks for your great tips. You are awesome. Lara, you are awesome too. Thank you so much for writing in. And it seems like there's a couple questions going on here. One is the original question about, do I use templates? So let me start with that one, and then we'll go into talking a little bit about scrap lifting and finding your own style. I actually do not use templates or sketches or page maps, as they're often called. I find it very, very difficult to see a sketch and then recreate that in my own scrapbooking page. It is, if I need inspiration, I find it's much easier to actually find a full color finished layout that I like and scrap lift elements of it than trying to recreate a sketch. It is really hard for me, and it's just a personal preference. There are so many people who adore sketches who actually, like you, find that it's hard for them to get started without a sketch. It's almost like cooking with a recipe. If you've got a recipe that you know you can depend on and follow it to the letter, and you know you're going to get something great on the other end, some people really love that. Just like with scrapbooking in the kitchen, I take the recipe just as a suggestion, and I'm always throwing in extra things, taking out other things, and my end result looks little like the original. But again, personal preference. If you find you like the pages you make from sketches more than the pages you don't, just use the sketches. You had said that oftentimes the sketches take more time than creating a page on your own. That could be for a couple reasons. One, it could be that the sketches you're using don't have the measurements, or they're using odd sizes of photos and things like that, or they're very, very detailed. Sketches, maps, templates come in all different shapes and sizes. There are some that get down to like the little teensy bits of embellishments on the page and tell you exactly where to put embellishments. Other ones just tell you where to put the photos and the pattern paper and cardstock and then leave it to you to embellish. So you might want to try to find a sketch or a map or a template that is less detailed and that leaves more room for your individual interpretations. That way you've got the bones of a great layout created, but then you don't have to worry about getting one little star right in the right spot. You can play with it, and that way it might look more like it's your own as well. So try that. Also, if the photos aren't with 4x6 sizes, you can spend a lot of time trying to get a photo down to a 3.333 size rather than just using the 4x6 size. So you might want to take a look at that as well. What are the sizes of the photos in the sketches that you've been turning to, and look for something that isn't going to require you to spend a lot of time cropping. So those are some thoughts on speeding up your process when you're using a template or a sketch. Now, when we talk about getting your own style and having pages turn out the way that you like, I would go back over what you've done so far and take a flip through your scrapbooks, through your albums, grab a sheet of sticky notes and put a sticky note in the corner of every layout that you absolutely adore, where you feel like, oh my gosh, I love that. And some of them will speak more loudly to you than others. When I go through my layouts, I love all of them, but some of them I just look at and I'm just like, wow, I feel like that is me on the page. When you find those, whether there's 5 of them or 50 of them, mark them and then go back and look at those layouts and see what they have in common. Are they all on craft cardstock? Are they all 8.5 by 11? Do they all use 3 photos? Do they all use black and white photos? Do they all involve more of a clean and simple style than an eclectic style? See what they have in common. Make a list of those items, and then that's the basis for your style. Then you know if you have a layout that incorporates craft, 8.5 by 11, 3 photos, black and white, and a graphic style, you're more likely to like that because it includes the elements that you adore. Also, we've talked earlier about the class that we have here at Layout a Day called Define Your Style from A to Z, and I'll put a link up in the show notes on the blog for you for that as well, because that's a fantastic class to walk you through the process of defining your style. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you guys so much for the continued questions coming in. I'm having so much fun seeing what's on your mind, and I look forward to another week and a half or so of answering your questions.